Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So, our barley is ready to go. So, I do try to snug up against that, but it definitely is an issue with regards to trying to... Whoops, what am I stuck on? Interesting. Not sure what I'm stuck on. Oh, I see. I think it was that low-lying branch was behind the folded pipe. So I think I'm going to go ahead and head on over to 86 and 85. Nothing new on auction yet. 93 is finishing up today in about 3 hours, so as is a little bit typical, it looks like we just have the one bid from Wild Moose. Usually just one of us bids on things. So he'll have that for about 179,000. And then we'll have another part of the map moving from FSN purple to a farm color. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Get everything connected. Fold up the header from the standpoint of the wheels for transportation, and then get the GPS set here. Turn the line. Fix the offset. I wish I could figure out, I really haven't researched it, maybe it's not that hard, but how to get the offset to not exist for harvesters. Because it doesn't come up for anything else, but I tend to have a problem with it for harvesters all the time. And I always turn it off. Now I don't save my tracks at all, and maybe that's, part of it, although it really shouldn't be. Alright, let me turn this. Oh, haven't folded. I'm like, let me turn that on before I start damaging the barley. Alright, so we'll turn this on. Yeah, because as you can see right away, it gave me a problem because it immediately touched the barley. I'm not going to go ahead and drop straw. I just don't know that I'm going to have time, and I really don't want to play that game with then feeling obligated because I did drop straw. I mean, I could leave it there and then plow it under, but of course it's sitting on the map, so because it's actually a weekday and I don't need... And the next few days are still weekdays, so I'm not going to try to jam it in the evenings with everything else that is going on now that, once again, we're through the holiday season and kind of the more leisurely pace is no longer upon us. So it's pretty nice, pretty warm. I haven't looked at the forecast. Let's just see so that we don't get surprised. I see no precipitation till Wednesday morning. So basically, I would need to get the harvest done today, which is possible for the barley and should be doable, because as you can see, it's not minimal, You know, we're up to 7,000 liters already in that space. So by the time we get to the end of the field, we'll certainly be over 10,000. So it looks like maybe a couple passes to fill the harvester or so on this field right now with barley. And then we'll empty that out into the truck and keep doing the work that we need to do. But definitely, as always, a really nice morning on the server. I know some people complain about that, like haze in the distance, that they just don't like it because they feel they can't see as far, but I don't know, I think it adds to the realism, and I don't have an issue with it, but I think on mornings like this, it definitely gives you that feeling of, you know, the morning mist is burning off and so forth. So, you know, those are the kind of idyllic pictures you see all the time of the countryside, I guess. It's not necessarily farms specifically, but just kind of looking over the rolling hills and seeing the mist. And so I do like that view every morning when I'm on here doing some work. Yeah, I'm just keep waiting to see if these fields south of me will come up for sale. But as I said, I think they're numbered, but I just think they're not ever ones that come up in the sale process. So I'm not quite sure what the logic is of that, of not using those exterior fields. And once again, I think they may be numbered on the map just because FSN did that to make the PDAs look a little more complete, I guess. But I don't think on the original map they're actually usable fields, so that may also be part of it. But I'm assuming if they're numbered, somehow they're assigned in the code or whatever it is that you do with a map to actually be able to be utilized and changed and so forth. So, because yeah, the one thing I do like, and that's where, like I said, I'm still tempted with 87 and 88 that way, is just, you know, to have kind of as far as the eye can see type of thing with crops, because then I could start down at 85 and look west and just see the crops rolling in the fields up until that crest of the hill on, I guess that's 88, before it drops back down to 89 that I do have. But, whoops, I was thinking about that I was not going to make it to the end of the row, and once again I was admiring the landscape and lost my mind. Always great, always great. Alright, so let me grab my trailer here so that we can start pulling the crops for the harvest and get them into the trailer and move it along. So, yeah, been a little, I don't know, in a daze, just going through the harvesting motions here. So let me get a little more focused. Alright, so we're connected up. We're all set. But now it's, you know, it's that tug-of-war between, I know I can't realistically work all those fields without stressing myself for certain. But there's still that longing to kind of have them if that makes any kind of sense. I was going to say it's not filling, but now it is finally. Alright, so I think I'm good there. Let me switch back to the harvester. I suppose if the trailer moves a little bit, I can move the arm if I need to. So yeah, I'm not sure that I've harvested barley. I mean, I know I have at one point, but it probably hasn't been a long time. It's just, yeah, it's a little darker brown than other grains that I've pulled. I think normally it's kind of that same light, almost blondish tan that it's on the field. So like if I did wheat, it would be about the same color, I believe, and oat is very similar to that, if I recall. And probably even rye, so the darker texture of barley is definitely a change. Alright. So, yeah, I'm trying to... I'm not sure I'm going to cut the headland here. I'm going to have trouble, obviously, at the telephone poles, but other than that, as you can see, I mean, I do have to kind of dance around a tiny bit here, but it's certainly workable. So right now I'm going to leave it the way it is and just keep running the rows. And obviously, as we just learned, we can't quite make it up and down without filling the harvester. So I'll just have to be careful on the pass back up, once again, that I don't overrun my crops. It looks like on the yield chart we're right in that yellow center, so we're getting the 100%, and I think we'd be, assuming the precision farming numbers match what the season's numbers would be on the crop rotation, I think we're at like 1.08 is what things would look like, or I guess 1.14. Yeah, somehow the crop rotation at one point kind of got cleared out completely, and at this point I just haven't rebuilt things that I haven't used in a while. Because if you recall before, I had something in all 4 columns, and that was because over the decade plus on the farm here, I've tried various things, and sometimes I would put that in another column as I was testing it versus just making changes in the one. But at this point I just need to know grain and then cotton-like crop, what that looks like. So yeah, it's 1.14. So in theory it should be kind of up in the green a bit if they coordinated. So maybe they don't, or maybe I did something wrong in my field prep and am unable to drive it to that point. But once again, these are yields based on soil type too, so that may kind of impact that 1.14 as well. So definitely a leisurely morning harvesting here on Misty Hills. That's kind of what we've got ahead of us. So once again, I will continue on with the work, and I will have you rejoin when it makes sense. So I'll see you in a bit. So I've harvested all the barley, got that completed today. I'll still have to get the last load into the silo. I'll probably be doing that sometime tomorrow. But finishing up, and I will see you next time.